Well, we've got Tasha on the line with us here. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. Excited to
Great.
be here.
Yeah. Now, you've got a new book out called Come and Get Your Love.
Yeah.
So, how would you describe the overall content of the book, first of all?
Well, it's funny.
Mm.
It's a love story, a little bit of suspense in there. The book is based on me, but it's
Mm.
considered fictional. I moved here to Florida about 4 years ago, and when I did, I joined a dating website.
Yeah.
And so the book is really just my story.
Yeah. And you say it's still considered fictional, so how much of it is your own personal experience and how much is kind of made up?
The part that's made up are going to be the names.
Mm.
I don't have 100% detail of exactly the complete conversation, so
Yeah.
yes, no, I don't have all of those details. So there's some fillers there, but everything else is true.
Yeah.
It happened.
And what was it about the experience, really, that made you think it would be worth writing a book about it?
Other people telling me about their experience,
Yeah.
I talked to other people like, well, yeah, I've been online before, and they would tell me about theirs. I'm like, this is something that's really happening.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to share my story to the masses.
Yeah. And does it feel particularly strange, maybe, to write about something that's so personal to you? Or because a lot of it is made up still, does it still feel like you're not really revealing too much that you don't want to?
No, it's
Mm.
very personal. And it took years. It actually took 2 years
Wow.
for me to get it completed and published and everything like that because it is so personal. And
Yeah.
I'm a pretty private person. So if you go on my Facebook, you don't see a lot of information about me and what I'm doing, So it's very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because this was years ago now, even though it was only a few, does it feel maybe like you're further from it and more detached, maybe, and that might help?
No, not at all. I don't feel detached. I don't feel further from it. I know that online dating may be an option for me in the future if
Mm,
things don't work out with my current boyfriend.
yeah.
So, I'm not detached from it at all.
Yeah. And would you say that your experience was a pleasant one overall, or not really?
It was both. It was
Mm,
bittersweet. There's some positive, good dates that I was able to go on, and then,
yeah.
it's just like anything in the world. Some people are weird, so some of the dates weren't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. I suppose with online, you don't really know who you're meeting. It could be a bunch of complete fake people, maybe. I don't know, because I think you mentioned at the very start of the book, the first person you thought might be a catfish. So I take it you were worried about fake people, really, and dangerous people as well.
Right. Actually did have a stalker in the book, and so
Ooh.
that accounted in there. So
Mm,
that's a real thing. It is a real thing. As well as, like you said, some people they're catfish, whether it's fake pictures or
mm,
old pictures, or whether they tell you, they do this or they believe this or they have this and they don't. So
mm.
that's a real possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in the contents, of course, you've got all the different, I take it as usernames that people have got, and I guess they're made up. So, was it quite hard to come up with fake usernames, or can it be quite easy because maybe it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it was actually fun.
Mm,
And the usernames that I used actually go with the chapter or that person or what they were doing.
mm,
So the guy that was God is Love, that's one of the chapters. He
yeah.
was extremely religious,
Ah.
extremely religious. So that's how I picked that, or those are the reasons that I picked the names, is just kind
Mm.
of based on, how they were, how they acted.
Yeah, and I'm particularly interested in the fifth one down, Fart for Me. I don't really think I want to know why that's their username.
Exactly what you think
Oh.
is exactly what it is. And so, like I said, there's some comedy in there if you
Mm,
can find the comedy in those type of people. But I guess
yeah.
everyone has a fetish. You got
That's
to
probably
match
true,
yours.
even if they haven't discovered it yet.
True, right?
Yeah. And the cover is a cool design as well, because I suppose instantly by looking at it, you know exactly that it's about online dating, really, don't you? Because it's got loads of phones and speech bubbles kind of things.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I actually had someone design it for me. I cannot take any credit.
Yeah.
I just, told them what it was about and they designed the cover for me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And the actual name of the book, Come and Get Your Love, is that inspired by the Redbone song?
It's just I didn't want to use the actual name of the dating websites that I had been on,
Mm,
and so I needed to make up one, and I thought
yeah.
that that would be a good name for a dating website.
Yeah.
So the name of the dating website that I'm using in the book is Come and Get Your Love. So that's the name of the title of the
Yeah,
book
and
also.
that's quite a good title as well, because there's no confusion as to what you're going to get out of that website. It tells you exactly in plain terms. So, how long did
Yeah.
this book actually take you to write? Given that this stuff mostly happened a few years ago, I take it took you a while.
It took me about 2 years to write the book.
Mm,
That's going to be from start to finish, though. So, rough draft, revisions, proofreading,
yeah.
cover design, everything was about a 2 year process.
Yeah. And because we've been in a pandemic for almost 2 years now, it's very nearly there. Did you write this mostly during the pandemic?
No,
Mm,
actually, I started writing it after, like right after I got off the dating website. That's when I started to write it.
yeah.
And then the pandemic, that's what just kind of pushed me like, okay, I'm home, I'm
Mm.
here, I can go ahead and finish my book. And so it pushed me to go ahead and finish it up and go through the process of getting it published.
Yeah. And what would you say your overall goal from writing the book would be? Is it to help people that were maybe in a similar situation to you, or just the more comedic value and entertainment that people might get from the book?
I'm going to say probably more entertainment. I
Yeah.
personally am a reader. I love to read. And this is a book that I would read and that I would recommend and that I would gift.
Mm.
And that was my goal, was to write something that others would enjoy.
Yeah.
So that really is the main goal. Right now, what I'm trying to do is become bestseller on Amazon,
Ooh.
and then build from there. So I'm working on that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about Amazon, I suppose, is that it has opened the world of publishing to a lot of people, because you can self publish and release your book when before it would have been a bit of a faff trying to get it out there, wouldn't it?
That is very true. Very, very true. I went through a lot of, I guess, trouble with the publisher
Yeah.
originally, and I finally canceled my contract with them and self published with
Mm.
Amazon myself.
Yeah.
So that's very true.
Yeah. And what are the reviews and reactions to the book looking like so far?
So far so great.
Mm.
I am getting, my favorite is going to be personal reviews where people read my book and then they send
Yeah.
me an email or they call me and they share their story with me, which was
Wow.
the motivation of my book originally.
Mm.
But then also I get Facebook reviews and Amazon reviews that are just kind of saying that it's realistic, that it's
Yeah.
funny, and also encouraging people to share their stories. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that that's what it brought out.
Yeah, that's true, because online dating is a thing these days that loads of people can relate to, so you're going to get a lot of people telling you about their personal experiences, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I'm okay
Mm.
with that. That's to me a great conversation starter. It makes you new friends or
Yeah.
just gives you something in common with a lot of people.
Mm.
And I think that a few years ago, online dating was kind of like a hush thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't want to talk about it, and a lot of people didn't want to let other people know, like, oh, we met online, or
Mm.
people didn't have faith in online dating. So I love that they read my book and then they want to go public.
Mm.
And they want to share it
Yeah.
and tell everyone, like, yeah, I've done online dating before, whether it was positive or negative. So I do like that. I love that fact.
Yeah, that's true. I guess a few years ago it was kind of like online dating. Ooh, you don't want to meet a
Uh-huh.
stranger or a murderer,
Right.
but
Exactly.
I guess maybe it's safer than meeting somebody at a club or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you say
Yeah.
the book is targeted at any demographic? Like, would it just be for women, or can anyone read it really?
Well, my writing voice is definitely a woman
Yeah.
because I'm a woman.
Mm.
But I do honestly think that anyone could read it because I've had men read it and react like we wanted to know what it was like for women, you know? So
Yeah.
this is kind of like an insight for them. And I've had people who's never been online to date, and they're just kind of like, well, now I know,
Yeah.
what it's like, what to expect. And then, of course, other people are relatable. But I mean, young people are dating and old people. And I
Yeah.
mean, there's everyone's online dating now.
Mm.
So I don't think that there's necessarily a demographic. I don't.
Yeah, that's true, because
Reader.
online dating seems to be for young and old, because you got the first timers, and then you got the divorcees, and, everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's true that even people that have never dated online will get something out of it because they will see what it's like and have an eye
Right.
into a world where they aren't familiar with. Because I guess most fiction books, actually, you would read because you aren't familiar with something. You wouldn't want to relate to a murder mystery because that would be worrying.
True. That is very true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
And have you got more books coming out after this one?
I do actually, based on the character,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one called Lovely Dates.
Ooh.
And it's just kind of the same concept, but just some of the dates that I've been on, some of the sweeter
Mm.
dates that I'm really happy about, and some of the odder dates.
Ooh.
I'll share those also. But right now, my focus is more on Come Get Your Love.
Mm.
I'm doing a audiobook.
Yeah.
So within the next few weeks, it should be an audio book, and I'm looking into having it like an animation.
Mm.
And so I'm looking at a script for that right now too.
Yeah.
But really, I'm just pushing this book as of now. But I am working in the background
Yeah.
on the Lovely Dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you going to be doing the audiobook yourself, or are you going to hire someone?
No, I'm gonna hire someone. I'm gonna
Mm.
stick to writing.
Yeah.
I have hired someone actually, so
Ah.
I'm just gonna stick to writing. That's for me.
Yeah. And do you feel kind of like you're still in control? Because if somebody else is reading their book, maybe they might not read it in the right way.
I don't know. I guess I haven't thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine that whoever's reading it is reading it the way that they're taking it,
Hmm.
and that should be okay.
Yeah, I
I
guess that
would
makes
assume.
sense. Yeah. Well, in the meantime, where are we able to check out the book Come and Get Your Love?
Well, Amazon, of course.
Yeah.
I have a website. It's called
Mm,
lovelythearthur.weebly.com
nice.
or at weebly.com.
Yeah.
I have it there. It's Barnes and Nobles, Kobo, Apple, Tolino. You should honestly be able to find it anywhere. If you're not able to find it, if you go to my website, then there's a contact where you'll be able to get in contact with me, and I can get you the book if you're looking for it. But
Great.
it's anywhere you can self-publish. The book has been self-published, and
Yeah.
I'm still working on other places.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us here on the show today. It's been great having you on.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy your day, and Happy New Year.